Hey, this is Hans from Dakota Angler and Outfitter, and I'm getting ready to go back to the Bahamas here in a few weeks, and I'm doing a series of bonefish fly videos for some of the guys that are going along so they can tie some of their own flies, and I thought I'd share them with you as well. Today we're going to tie a Bonefish Bitters, very popular bonefish fly from Craig Mathews. Very effective in the Yucatan, but also in Belize, but pretty much anywhere where you find bonefish, this fly works quite well. I'm using a Gamakatsu SL45. You can use any number of saltwater hooks. This is just what I have on the bench right now. I'm going to build the Bonefish Bitter has a little kind of trademark epoxy or hot melt head. I'm going to do the head of this fly with some of the UV Cure Resin that's out there. I'm going to start with some orange thread. I'm just going to wrap about half the hook shank with the thread. Advance back to the middle of that series of wraps. Trim off my excess. And I'm going to tie in some medium bead chain. Do some figure 8 wraps. Make sure we get that relatively secure here. Sliding on me a little bit. And then once that's there, I'll go underneath each eye a couple of times and pull nice and tight. Keep that tension. Go a couple times again over the bead chain just to make sure that good and secure. Advance in front of it. Do a whip finish. And then trim off our thread. We're going to build up the head here with our UV Cure. You can use clear Cure Goo, or I'm testing out the Loon Fly Finish. This is the thin, but you could also use the thick. Save yourself a little bit of time. I'm just going to start in between the eyes and back behind the eyes with a primary coat. Do the same thing top and bottom. Go ahead and spin the vise a few times, make sure that levels itself out. And then I'll set that with my UV lamp. Make sure you get a good cure on that. And I'll just build that head up just a little more. Coating the outsides of the bead chain. Filling in the gaps a little bit here. There we go. And same thing, I'm going to spin that pretty well before I hit it with the light. Just make sure I let that even out over both bead chain. There we go. And then we'll set that with our UV lamp. Make sure you get a nice good cure. Now I'll tint this later with a marker to whatever color I want. Kind of a brown marker is what I've been using to just give it kind of an amber color for fishing on kind of sandy flats. You can also do kind of olive version for turtle grass and weeds. Okay. Now, what we'll do, we've got our head there. That's kind of a finished blank for this fly. You could do up as many blanks as the number of flies you were going to tie in advance, or you can just do it as you go along, which is what I've been doing. I'll start my thread again behind the head there. I don't need to wrap too far back. Trim off my excess thread. There we go. Now I'm going to grab some silly legs. You do various color schemes as body or head color that you're doing, whichever type of bottom you're fishing over. Kind of like some of these newer silly legs that come in all these different colors. This one is tri-colored silly legs that are pink and olive and a little bit of chartreuse. We'll tie some of those on there for fun. We'll tie them and just kind of figure eight them right behind the head here. The other side to cooperate. Get my first wrap on there. There we go. Oops. Working with a bum finger, so it's a little bit hard for me to get my best dexterity here. There we go. And then we'll just tweak these out until got them figure eighted on there. Alright, I get some thread wraps back in front of those legs. And next we're going to take a little antron or Zelon under wing, and we'll finish the fly with a deer hair wing. We'll grab our antron, and I'm going to use kind of a tan antron yarn for that. We'll just take a little bundle of antron. We're going to tie that in for our over wing right over the hook point. Trim that down to length and tie that in right in front of that clump of legs. There we go. And next we're going to take, trim that shorter, just a little shorter. Okay, next we're going to take and tie in a little clump of stacked deer hair. Weed guard and mimics parts of the little crab as well. Alright. So we got our deer hair here. Just about the length of that Zelon. I'm going to measure it up and then trim off the excess so it's already ready to be tied into length. I'll just set that right in front over the top of that antron. Catch it with a couple of loose wraps of thread and then tighten down, and that gives us our little wing. Make sure I didn't trap my legs, they're good. I'll do a whip finish. Just going to do a 3-turn whip finish. Tighten that up. Now, one thing I've been doing with these before I totally finish the fly is first I can even up my legs, and then I've been taking a little more of the UV Cure, covering up those thread wraps on the bottom. Hit that with the lamp. Till it's set, and there you go. You got a Bonefish Bitters. And again, if you want to change the tint of that head, I just hit it with a permanent marker. Make it brown or amber or olive, whatever color scheme you're going for. There you go, a Bonefish Bitters.